So are California home prices dropping, and is this market starting to cool off? Boy, the buyers out there hope so, and the sellers don't want it to ever end. The California housing market moderated for the fourth month in a row for September 2021. And after a busy summer, the state's housing market continues to stabilize. But what does that mean? So let's take a look at the California Association of Realtors CAR report for September and see what the trends are telling us about what's happening in the market currently and where we're headed. This is Kiwi of the Coast, your luxury real estate specialist, helping you maximize and sell the value of your coastal home. Now, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and let's jump in. So first, let's look at the number of closed sales. September saw an uptick in existing home sales, which reversed a 4-month slowdown. September's monthly sales pace was up 5.6% from the 414,860 in August, but down 10.5% from a year earlier, when 489,590 homes were sold. And that month-to-month rise was the highest that we've seen since August 2020. And despite continuing declines from a year earlier, and that's in the number of sales, statewide sales increased 16.8% on a year-to-date basis. California median home price, let's take a look at this from a report that just came out 4 days ago. After setting another record in August, California's September median home price actually declined to a little over $808,000, down 2.3% from the $827,000 median home price in August. The September price was 13.5% higher than the $712,430,000 median home price recorded last September. The median home price in California stayed above the $800,000 benchmark for the last 6 consecutive months. But the double-digit year-over-year price gain was the smallest that we've seen in the last 14 months. A change in the mix of sales once again played a significant role in the change of the median home price. And this as the sales share of million and multi-million dollar homes continue to shrink on a month-to-month basis, and the sales in the higher end markets have been growing at a much slower pace than the low end market in the last 2 months. Part of the reason for the decrease in the median sales price may be a drop in sales of the luxury homes, an increasing inventory overall, and of course the seasonality at this time of the year. Let's look at days on market. Guess what? Homes are still flying off the shelf in record time. The median number of days that it took to sell a home in California inched up from 9 days in August to 10 days in September. And this was slightly lower than the 11 days in September 2020. Tight inventory and low interest rates continue to fuel the rise of California home prices. So what about housing supply? After increasing for the past 6 consecutive months, Californians' housing supply leveled off as we headed into the off-season. The number of for-sale properties dipped slightly from July by 2.6% and continued to fall from last year by 10.9%. The year-over-year decline was the smallest that we've seen in 2 years. New active listings also dipped from a year ago for the 2nd consecutive month. And that's after growing for 4 months from March through June 2021. A new dip in active listings may be partly due to seasonality, but we also expect that the new cases of COVID-19 also played a significant role. So what are the trends telling us? Well, the California housing market still remains one of the most competitive markets out there. The growth of sales obviously driven by the low interest rates, people seeking more living space, and that perennial shortage of housing supply. And we're seeing homes are selling quickly with minimal price reductions. The statewide sales price to listing price ratio was at 101.9%. That's the lowest we've seen in the last consecutive 7 months. And what does that mean? Well, if that ratio is above 100%, Those homes are selling higher or more for list, and obviously if that ratio is less than 100, that means that the buyers are able to trim just a little bit off the asking price of the sellers. Hey, I hope you found all that information valuable. Now don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can stay up to date on all the factors affecting you and the real estate market. See you on the next video. Varoom.